This is really exciting, guys. This is the first time I've done a fuller on a Dagger. No, it's feeling really bad. Yeah, I need to definitely take some machinist classes sometime. This would be super easy. I'm probably just gonna eyeball it. I'm gonna put a fuller in this blade. A really long fuller. Oh man, I think my milling machine's too small. It's too long for my mill. Now, we need to make sure it's on here straight. So to do that, I put this best test indicator on here. It's the most precise measuring tool I have in the whole shop. The measurements on it are in 1/1/2 of a thousandth increments. So the way you do this is, the edge of this blade is perfectly straight. I already milled both sides of this, so they're perfectly straight and even until about right out here. So this is a nice flat surface to go against, this edge. So what you do is get the height right, lock it on there, and then gently move it up against there and load it a little bit. I'm just gonna go to 0. And now I'll run it down here and see how much that changes, and then I can move it in or out until it is probably within a thousandth or two. I'm definitely gonna have to move it though, because it's already moved about 7 thousandths. And there's the end of my flat spot right there. Yeah, so we moved about 10 thousandths of an inch. Need to push it. Once I get it set right where I want it, I'll put more clamps across the blade and check it again after the clamps are on. All right, there's 1,000th. All right, so it's only out 1,000th of an inch all the way across there, which is almost nothing. So I'll be good with that. So now I need to gently clamp it down and then check it again, because it'll probably move a little bit when I clamp it. Okay, that's really good. It's only out like 1/1000th. I'm gonna have to take this clamp off, because right now there's nothing under it, so it's kind of making the blade bow up, so it's not even touching right here. So that'll be good just to hold it for now. And I think I'm gonna put clamps on the sides like right here. One on each side. This would be a lot easier for me to do if this flat area was bigger, so I could clamp on it, but it's not. Okay, hopefully this doesn't scoot over on me too much, or at all. Yeah, I really don't like this. Yeah, I wish I could just put the whammy down on it, but it's gotta be tight. If it comes loose while I'm milling on this, then chaos will ensue. I have to redo the blade. Redo. Possibly. Or the bit just breaks off and doesn't hurt anything. Hard telling. Put this on here, not super tight, just a little added. Alright, good. It's like 1/1000th out, which is fine. 1/1000th is almost nothing. How thick do you think this paper is? Yes.
50,000.
50,000?
Man, I don't know. Something huge.
It is 4.7 thousandths. So 1/1000th of an inch in that far is virtually nothing. There,
So basically,
there's a 1/1000th gap. I want to find the center now. Just gonna lightly go over until that touches. All right, right there. Okay, so I zeroed it out on here. Go to the other side. Looks like each turn of the handle is 200 thousandths. Okay, we're back at 0. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 18, 20, 1980 thousandths. Yeah, so we're at 1980. But I got to take off the 250 thousandths of this rod, I believe, in order for this math to be correct. So take off 250, and that brings us down to 1730. And yeah, like 10 thousandths of an inch off though. Yeah, I need to definitely take some machinist classes sometime. This would be super easy. I'm probably just gonna eyeball it. I'll probably be closer eyeballing it than I will be messing around with this. All right, so I'm just gonna find the center by eyeball method. So I've got a little tiny mill bit that goes down to a point. The point's been broken off just a little bit, but it's still mostly a point, and I'm just gonna eyeball it and get it lined up with that center line I made over there with the height gauge. not building a spaceship or anything here, so as long as it looks good, then I will be happy. As long as your eye won't ever be able to tell that it's out or anything. I'm probably going to be plus or minus only a couple thousandths of an inch anyway, so I've got a pretty fine line I'm going by right here. Just tap this little spot here, see if it's looking good still. I think that's going to be good. So what I want to do now is I'm going to tighten these handles on the side. They clamp it so I won't be able to move the table in or out this way. So I want to keep it right here until we get the rest of this fuller milled in. Double check, make sure it looks where I want it. Just move it way over here. Looks pretty good. I'm not entirely sure I'm happy with that though. Need this thing, the point's broken off on it a little bit. I need to find something with a really crisp point on it just to make sure I'm right in the center. So the other day, I put a new tungsten on my TIG welder because the old one got too short. There we go. I'll take that and put a nice sharp point on it and use this. My drill. There you go. There it is. Yeah, I think the table does need to move that way just ever so slightly, like barely nothing. Oh, that was too much. Yeah, that looks good. Gotta change the speed on this. We are on BG. I'm going to do like BG or AF. Probably AF. So I got to switch them around. That's kind of part of what makes it a pain is they're on the wrong side of each other to change it to the next speed. Someday I'll have me a really nice mill, variable speed. That is not this day. This is a lot of pain to change the speed, so I normally don't. Even though it would be good to change the speeds almost on a daily basis for doing different things that I do with this thing. But I have gotten a lot faster at it. The first couple times I didn't loosen the motor or anything. It was really hard. It's about having you in tears. Get your hands all cut up in here on the sharp cast iron. Okay, where was A? Top one. F was the middle one over here. That one there. And then take the motor back up. I have the emergency lockout on. I never used to have to use that when I worked alone, but now I didn't want you accidentally turning it on with my hands in there.
Turn it up.
Yeah, more than twice the speed. It was at 930 and I put it up to 1800. Okay, so it's not more than not more than twice the speed. 900 times 2 is 1800, so it's actually just under twice. This is a Dagger that's going out this week, and I kind of want to see where the fuller would stop if I do this the way I'm thinking. So the blade's 300 thousandths right there, 250 right there. So if I make my fuller 25 thousandths of an inch deep on each side, that means it would end right here basically. That makes sense. I gotta figure out where I want the fuller to stop. Think about right here, or I could just let it fade out to nothing. I don't know how deep we'll see. The blade's 300 thousandths. If I wanted each fuller to be 40 thousandths of an inch deep, that would be 220,000. Fuller would end like right there. That makes sense?
So you're just gonna let it fade out?
I don't know. I wanted to, but I was kind of wanting to make it fade out here, but I think in order to do that, I would actually have to put the blade on a little bit of an angle, tip it up, and I kind of don't want to do that as we're milling it, you know? Carbide ball in the mill, 4 flutes, kind of a pricey little bugger. I think this thing was like $35, $40. I've already done one 12-inch bladed. I did a recurve with a curved fuller. That was really hard to do, but I used that on this, used this on that. Make sure it looks good. Something I haven't done is I've never done a fuller on a hardened blade, so that's gonna be a little scary. This blade's already hardened. Normally I do it on a soft blade, but I wanted to try it on the hard one, so hopefully it works. I only have this one bit. It is 2-sided, so one side's looking a little dull already from using it quite a bit. Gotta make sure none of the clamping stuff is gonna be in the way. You know, I should probably have this stop at the same place, just in case it doesn't fade out. I think it will though, I'm not sure. We probably should stop it just short of full. We want the bit up in there as much as we possibly can get it, because everything's sturdier and it'll be more precise and leave a cleaner cut. The further that bit's out, the more it can like wobble around and stuff. Also, you might have noticed how I could run this way down. Did you see me bring the table way up? Well, I did that because the further down you bring this, it's less sturdy and stiff, because that's sticking way down. But if you bring the table up and you keep this way up here, then everything's more solid Alright, that looks good. I'm just gonna make sure that we're gonna have clearance here to then check this. I also scribed a line right here where I want that to stop. So I'm gonna be going, keeping an eye on that line where we're gonna have the fuller start. Make sure we can go far enough. Ooh. Oh. Oh my goodness. I cut that tight, look. I'm all the way over. Alright, I'm gonna wipe that down with some acetone real quick. See the scribe marks better. There we go. And get the air ready to go. I'm gonna keep all the chips blown out of there really good. It'll help the fit stay sharp longer. Alright. Should we try?
Do or do not. There is no try. Need more power.
Gonna get it close to where I want to start out at, and I want to gauge my depth really well because I want both sides to be the same depth. So if we do end up fading it out to nothing, that that'll happen at the same area. So I'm gonna look for when it hits, and then I'll zero out my gauge. All right, little tiny dust. That actually almost came out on 0. Set that on 0 so I'll know how deep I'm going. Turn this back on. We'll do about 5 thousandths on the first pass. See what that looks like. Should be able to move along pretty fast too, because got this really good quality carbide in there, and I've got the speed turned up really high on the machine. There we go. There's a little baby fuller. Isn't it cute? I kind of wish I had a larger bit actually. This is a 1/4 inch bit. I'd kind of like to be doing like a 3/8 or maybe 1/2 inch, but I don't have it right now, so I'm just gonna go with this 1/4 inch one. Oh man, this is really exciting, guys. This is the first time I've done a fuller on a Dagger. I've done like 3 different fighters, double-edged fighters that had fullers, but never a Dagger yet. And Daggers are where they really are, you know, made to go on. Okay, my arm's getting tired already, so I think I'll use this. Okay, I gotta decide, am I gonna try to make this fuller fade out to nothing, or am I gonna have a abrupt start and stop on it? Well, it just depends on how deep I go. That's 5 thousandths of an inch. I think it'll be easy to fade it if I go down to about 30 thousandths, but after that, it'll start getting to where there might be an abrupt end. I think we'll try to fade it. I'll make it so we can do it the same on both sides. Like after we find out where our stopping spot is here, I think I'll flip it over when we do the other side, and I'll put a parallel scribe line, parallel scribe line on the other side. That way I can get them lined up just in case they don't fade out to nothing. So I'm gonna go almost to the end capability of my table, but not quite. I'm gonna leave myself a little bit of room just in case I don't get it in the exact same spot when I flip it over. All right, that leaves me about a 1/4 inch to work with. So I'll go to about there. We'll just make a marker mark on this side, but then on the other side we'll scribe a line. Okay, so let's go another 5 thousandths and go the other way. It's automatic. We'll run it manually a little bit, see what it feels like. Feels good. I'm gonna get up a little closer to the line than I was there. All right, another 5 thousandths. I really hope this bit makes it. It's a good solid carbide bit, made by A-Trax, USA made bit. But this steel is hard. Like the steel should be somewhere right around 58, 59 Rockwell. And I'm gonna be cutting a lot of it, and I've already done quite a bit of cutting with this bit. It feels like it might be dulling a little bit, or it could just be my imagination. Hopefully it's the latter. Ladder! Okay, so this is, we're at 20 thousandths deep on this pass. I guess it's feeling all right. Slow down the feed a little bit. Make sure we got good clearance. We do. I could probably cut a lot more than I'm doing in each pass, and then just do a cleanup pass on the final depth, but I'm not entirely sure how secure the blade is in here and everything, so I'm just gonna do little bites at a time just to be extra safe. My bit is quick cutting. I think when I went deeper there, it's just pushing the bit up into the collet, maybe. Yeah, look, it's hardly doing anything. Yeah, it's making that noise. Like halfway done on this side, maybe. Well, hopefully I can get this to work still. I loaded an app, because I don't really know machining speeds. And I put in what I have as a bit, and what I have is a hard metal, and it said I needed to be up around the 3,000 RPM. So I set the mill to 3,000 RPM instead of 1,800. Well, I'm at as fast as it'll go. It's 2,950. It seems to be cutting again, but I don't know. It's a little scary. Then I could go at about 25 inches per minute on the feed. I put that bit in there super tight too. It's still cutting. The bit hasn't gotten pushed up, at least not all the way.
Is this the other side that was pressed?
No.
Same side?
Yeah, if I can't do this side on the one side, then I won't be able to do the other side of the knife. Oh wow. I didn't lower it all, but it's cutting going this way now.
You didn't lower it.
Yeah, that means there's just a lot of pressure there. And it's cutting off the other side. Okay. Well, cutting this hard steel may be way harder on the ball end bit than I thought it was gonna be. Should have done it when it was soft, I guess. Or not done it at all. Maybe the other side's already a little bit dull though. I'm gonna try this side, but there's no way this side's gonna be able to finish this and do the other side, even with the correct speed. Maybe I'll use a little oil too. Not sure if that'll help or not, but I don't think it'll hurt. But it could. Let me touch off again. So this is the other side that's sharper than what we were just using, but it was the dull side of the two when we started. I don't think we're getting heat. The oil's just to like help with heat, right? But also I can't see where the ends are now. No, it's feeling really bad. I don't think I'm gonna be able to cut the other side at all. We're gonna have to get another bit. I don't think I'm even gonna finish this side. I'd like to go deeper. That's 30 thousandths. I'd like to go to like 40 on both sides. I don't normally like getting bits from Grizzlies because they don't normally seem very good, but I don't think I've purchased any carbide ones from them. Let's see if they have any carbide ball end mills. So I could go there and maybe get one if they have some. They don't have 4 flutes, but I don't actually need 4 flutes because there's only 2 flutes. If you look at the ones I have, only 2 flutes are doing all that main work down there.
I think it's good.
They have some right here. I'm gonna keep cutting with this one. We'll see if we can get it, but it's good to know that we have this as a backup and we don't have to wait for an MSC order because that could take like a week and a half. I'm gonna go deeper because we can get some bits from Grizzlies if this one gets completely destroyed, which I feel like it will. We as in you, as in an hour from now when quitting time happens. 4 of them. That'd still be over 100 bucks. I think I'm gonna try to go down to the 40 now. I'm at 30. I'm gonna go 10 thousandths. Just trying to get an even depth across here now. I found out you don't want to get those burrs on your hand because they're pretty sharp and tiny. I might have to call it quits for today on this until you get some more bits. I kind of want to run over it with a fresh bit and maybe go a little deeper on this side. Clean it up with a fresh bit a little bit. Got some stuff that I want to get cut that's not cutting. It looks pretty nice though. Theoretically, I would pick up 3 or 4 of them and we should be able to just lightly finish this side and then flip it over and do the other side. Definitely in the future, I'll be cutting them in when it's soft. Problem I've had with that though is sometimes these long blades, because this blade's 18 inches, sometimes I get them warped. I get a little bit of warpage like this way. I always get some warpage this way, but sometimes there'll be a little warpage this way or this way, just a little bit. And if that happens and your fuller's already cut in, then your fuller is going to be warped too.
1 shift later.
Okay, today, mark this day, because this day, my world has become more expensive than it was yesterday. Well, it's also become more complicated than it was yesterday, in a good way. So Josh picked up these carbide ball end mills they had at Grizzlies, had this coating on them. So yeah, these have a TIALN coating. I just finished out this fuller and I went ahead and went another like 15 thousandths deep, so it's 60 thousandths of an inch deep now. Almost a 16th, just a couple thousandths short of being 1/16 inch deep. And this cutter worked amazingly. And I took it off and looked at it and it is like just almost in perfect condition still. The reason I said my life has become more complicated is because there's a bunch of different coatings that you can get on these things. I now need to learn about them because I think they're probably going to be really good to have coatings on them. Also, I need to learn more about proper feed rates and RPMs for the milling machine because I just kind of been winging it but I need to learn about that more. And my life is more expensive because these coated bits are more expensive. So I'm getting this all cleaned up, and I'm gonna flip it over and start working on the other side. I got the blade flipped over finally. Got it all straight and centered in here. And I have everything ready to go. I think we're ready to make the first cut on this side. A little oil across here, right where we're cutting. Here we go. We'll do about 20 thousandths this time, which is quite a bit more than the other time. This bit seems to be cutting really well. I might actually take back what I said yesterday when my other bit wasn't doing so good. I said I shouldn't be doing this with the blade hardened. I don't know, maybe it's not such a bad idea after all if you have a really good bit, good sharp bit. Coffee break. Woo, it's hot. I burnt my lip right there. Yeah, I think this thing's cutting really good. I'm doing 20 thousandths of an inch this time. That other bit, I was only doing like 5 thousandths at a time. We'll see on the next pass though, because the next pass is going to be a lot more material to remove. Getting some bigger chips too, which is kind of nice. Going a little deeper, it shouldn't stick into my hand so bad. I don't think anyway, maybe they will. It's like our blade is magnetic from all this machining. Coming up on the line here. Got a line over here on this side where we need to stop. Watch how close this is when it gets by there, Josh. You have to keep an eye on it when I go deeper just to make sure it's not going to hit. A little bit scary. Taking off a pretty big bite, went another 20 thousandths, but this time there's a lot more material to remove. The deeper we get, the more that rounded surface has to cut. All right, guys, I have gotten both of the fullers milled in. At last. I was really worried I wasn't gonna get them because my mill bit wasn't cutting this hard steel and everything, but the new one did it. Only took one mill bit. It held up really well. One little tiny bit of it chipped after I completely cut one of these in and cleaned up the other side. So it held up perfectly fine for me. I didn't end up needing the other 3 that we got. This fuller's in here, and now I can really start working on these bevels and grind them down. They're just kind of roughed in right now, so I need to get this grind line moving in nice and close to the fuller, and then I'm gonna grind quite a bit out here to kind of make this thin down. And I gotta thin the edge down too because it's super thick still. This is basically just been heat treated and just had the scale knocked off of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more in the future, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Bye-bye.